Hello students, welcome to Trunkie Academy and today today we'll start a new topic, okay? And since we started with the different topics under diversity in living world, that means and classification, hierarchy, taxonomy. Today we'll discuss about taxonomic hierarchy and about the what is taxonomy, what is taxonomic hierarchy, what are the different taxon, okay, as per the syllabus of NCERT class 9, okay, according to that topic, what is taxonomy, what is taxonomic hierarchy, okay, and what are the different taxa, okay, and how different groups of organisms are placed into different taxa, okay. So we'll start with this and so first we'll start that what is taxonomy, okay. So it started what is taxonomy, what is taxonomy, okay. So first of all, the word taxon is actually derived from the Greek word that is taxis, okay, meaning arrangement or division. So taxis means arrangement or division, okay. And nomi means nomos. The nomi, the word is derived from the nomos, and which means meaning is the method. Nomos is equal to method. So method of arrangement of living organisms, that is the taxonomy. How we are arranging, because there are so many different variety of organisms are there in this living world, and we know that without placing into proper order or into proper division, it will be very, very difficult for us to study and research about these organisms, okay. So taxonomy, the word taxonomy means arrangement or division method of organisms, okay. And taxonomic hierarchy refers to hello. So taxonomic hierarchy refers to taxonomic hierarchy refers to the sequence of categories, in which sequence we are arranging sequence of categories in increasing or decreasing order, in what sequence, how we are arranging the different sequence, like phylum, then subphylum, class, infraclass, okay, subclass, infraclass, then the order, suborder, family, genus, species, or the hierarchy, okay, from lower to higher to lower. So that is the taxonomic hierarchy. Okay, kingdom is the highest rank, we know that kingdom is the highest rank. And now Now taxonomic hierarchy actually, if you want to define this, so we'll write, this is important for the as per the syllabus. Taxonomic hierarchy is the process of arranging various organisms into successive levels of biological classification. Classification either in increasing or in increasing or decreasing order from kingdom to species or vice versa. Okay. Now this is the complete definition. Now what is a taxonomic hierarchy? Now we are arranging into the plant kingdom, animal kingdom. Then we are the particular organism. If we are taking, for example, the mango plant, so Mangifera indica. So Mangifera is the genus name, and indica is the species name. Then there is name of the family, okay. The name of the order, then the class, okay. Then its division. Then it comes to the phylum. The kingdom. So whenever we are arranging the different sequential order, whether from the species to kingdom or kingdom to species, okay, that is a taxonomic hierarchy. Like in case of the human beings, it is Homo sapiens. Sapiens is the species name, and genus is the Homo is the genus name. Okay, so we are arranging from kingdom to species or in a decreasing or increasing order. So that order, that sequence is the taxonomic hierarchy. Okay, so this is the definition. Now, either the level of the hierarchy is called taxonomic category or rank, each one. Okay, so I will write and show you. This means, that means there is a kingdom. Okay, and after kingdom is the phylum. Phylum is there, and after phylum is the class is there. In some cases, superclass is also there. Then we have got order, the next lower rank. So these are called rank or taxonomic category. Okay, order. Then we have got a family, which family that particular individual organism belongs. Okay, then comes the genus and the species. Now in this way we are sequentially arranging. Okay, so if we are writing all these information for one particular organism, like for example, you have written the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata for human beings. Then human beings belong to kingdom Animalia. Human being Homo sapiens belong to phylum Chordata. Then it belongs to phylum class Vertebrata, subphylum Vertebrata. Then it belongs to the class Mammalia. Then it belongs to the order Primate. Okay, likewise we are writing, and then finally we are writing the genus Homo and species Sapiens. So these are the sequential order, and each this kingdom, phylum, and these are called the taxonomic rank or taxonomic rank or taxonomic rank or category, taxonomic category. Okay, and when you are writing, okay, all the information, okay, like for one, okay, so then it is called systematic position. Systematic position. Systematic position means for one individual organism we are writing all the information, to which kingdom it belongs, to which phylum it belongs, to which class it belongs, to which order it belongs. So we are writing, then it's called systematic position. Okay, systematic position of that particular. So if you have to write the systematic position of the dog, so if you write, first we will write the kingdom Animalia, then we will write phylum Chordata, then we will write subphylum Vertebrata, then we will write class Mammalia, okay, then in a table, tabular format, okay, then order Carnivora, okay, then family Canis, genus Canis, genus and species Canis familiaris. So in that way we are writing all the information from one individual organism. They are called systematic position, and each kingdom, phylum, class, these are called taxonomic category or taxonomic rank. Okay, so this is the about the technique. Now kingdom is the highest, lowest is the species, phylum is the next to the kingdom, and then after that phylum is the class normally. But in some cases we find there is superclass also, since there is large number of organisms, and we have to this rank become less. Okay, so again then we have to, like for example, if in a class in a class 11A, or for example our class 11 commerce class, there is only one section. Okay, so we'll say only class 11 will say. But if there is 2-3 sections, then we'll say class 11A, class 11B, class 11C, right? Okay, for example only there is one stream, only science only, so it is only class 1, one section, one stream, class 11, finish. Okay, so depending on the number of population, number of variety of organisms, okay, there may be superclass, class, subclass, infraclass, order, suborder, okay, family or subfamily, then genus and species. Okay. So normally these are the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and the species are, these are the taxonomic rank or category in taxonomic hierarchy. Okay, so this was all about the taxonomic hierarchy. On the species I have already explained. For example, now one example I'll write, so that you will understand the systematic position. So if we are writing the systematic position of the human being, so how we'll write? So we'll write in taxonomic hierarchy, and the examples. Hierarchy. Okay, first will be the kingdom, human being. For human being I'm writing, it is text kingdom will be the Animalia. Okay, second will come phylum. Phylum is the Chordata. Phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata. Then we have got class Mammalia, right? Class Mammalia. Then order primate. Order primate, because human beings belongs to the order primate. Okay, primates. And then the family is the hominidae. Family hominidae. Okay, AE. Then the genus will be the Homo. Genus will be Homo. Okay, and species means will be the sapiens. Okay, Homo and sapiens must be underlined because this is a scientific. Now this is called taxonomic systematic position. For one individual organism we are writing that systematic position in this way. First we write the taxonomic hierarchy, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Then we write to which kingdom it belongs, to which phylum it belongs, to which class it belongs. So this is the called systematic position. Okay, this is the example of the systematic position. Okay. Now Now another thing is that after this, according to the syllabus, we have to study about the different groups of organisms. Okay, first with the plant and then with the animals. So starting with the plant, first we will study about the algae. Okay, starting with the algae. And class 11 also you'll go when you go to class 11, then that time you'll study in little more detail in more detail about the algae and bryophytes, pteridophytes, etc. But as per the syllabus of class 9, you have to know the some basic features of the algae, okay, and bryophytes, pteridophytes, etc. And then the differences between the algae and bryophyte. That is important for exam. Okay. So, but in class 11, you will study about the mode of reproduction of the algae. So, the different examples of the algae and on what basis they are classified. Okay, different categories of algae and what basis they are different, and what are the different types of pigments present in the algae. Okay, so that you will study in class 11. Okay, now as for the class 9, what are the simple basic features of algae? What is algae? And then you have to study about the you have to study about the bryophytes. Okay, then the differences between the bryophyte, pteridophyte, and then differences between the bryophytes and the algae. Okay, now so algae is, you know, algae is the smallest. You must have seen where there is continuous flow of water with the moist places. Some green layers are formed, isn't? That is algae. Algae are very small and not fully developed. I mean, not well differentiated. You can say these are the very primitive type of plant. In the plant kingdom, they are the most primitive type. In plant kingdom, they are photosynthesizing autotrophic plants. Okay, photosynthetic, but they have no leaves, roots, stems, etc. They are undifferentiated. Okay, like we find in case of the higher plants, in case of the angiosperm, the gymnosperm, they've got roots, stems, and leaves. But in case of algae, it is the simplest photosynthesizing synthesizing green autotrophic plants. Okay, it may be unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular and multicellular. Some are unicellular also. Just imagine. No tree is unicellular. No herbs is in. No shrub. Okay. No angiosperm. But this plant, although it is very primitive type, but it has got well advanced mechanism for the manufacturing food, like entrapping of solar energy, and that utilizing the solar energy to prepare food. So unicellular and multicellular algae are there. Multicellular. Okay. So what happens in case of this algae? Since the structure is not much differentiated, okay, they require there is not much complexity in the body, so they require water. They require water for reproduction. Okay, that is the reason they grow in the aquatic region where the water is continuously flowing, or the place is moist. Okay, or sometimes moist and shady places. Okay, so even then there is the sunshine also. They can grow, but there are different variety of algae. They are divided on the basis of the presence or absence of different types of pigments. Okay, apart from the chlorophyll, there are some other pigments also. Red pigment also. Okay, and brown pigment also. So depending on that, they are mode of nutrition is very autotrophic, like, because they have mode of nutrition is autotrophic. I have already that mentioned. Okay. Mode of reproduction is asexual and sexual. Mode of reproduction okay, asexual and sexual reproduction. Okay, and they are very small to unicellular and multicellular, very small in size. Okay, body, that means body is body body bo- body thallus. Body is thallus. Okay, means not not differentiated into body is small, thallus not differentiated into roots, stems, and leaves. Okay, so this means that uh, this is the primitive type of plant in the line of in the course of evolution. This group of plants were evolved. Okay, before evolution of all other green plants. So they are the precursor. Algae were the precursor plant. They evolved first. First photosynthesized autotrophic green plants were the algae. Okay, and then examples, there are some common example you need to know. Okay, but in the examination some common example which is there in your textbook and according to the syllabus. The first one is the most common is this is a unicellular Chlamydomonas. Then filamentous, this is a unicellular. And then is the Spirogyra and Eulothrix are the filamentous. Okay, give one example of filamentous algae. So you write Spirogyra. Spirogyra is a filamentous. Then one is the volvox, that found in colony. Volvox. Colonial. Okay. Then one more is there, Odogonium. Then Shara. These are the other examples, and there are also this Chlamydomonas is unicellular, Spirogyra is the filamentous, and Volvox is the colonial. These are the common, and you have to remember one example of each from unicellular, filamentous, colonial, and okay, etc. Now we come to the another group, next higher group, that is the bryophytes. Okay, bryophytes or bryophyta. Okay, like Thallophyta. After that, we say algae, but the botanical term for the algae is the Thallophyta. I'll write it here. It is the Thallophyta. Means, since body is thallus-like, so it's called Thallophyta. Okay. After that is the bryophyta or bryophytes. Okay. Bryophytes are also called amphibians of the plant kingdom. This is an important point. Why? Because these the members of this group of plants, they can live. Some part of their life cycle is found in the water, aquatic mode, and some on the land. Okay, that is the reason they are called amphibians of plant kingdom. Okay. These are the first, most primitive land plants. So, the important point to be noted is the most, because algae is aquatic only, because without water they cannot grow. So, bryophyta some of the stage of its life may be found on land, terrestrial mode of life. So, the most primitive land plants or terrestrial plant. Okay, terrestrial, terrestrial plants. They have got vascular, some kind of the vascular tissue is well developed. Like I was discussing in some classes. Okay, vascular tissue is well developed in case of the plants like angiosperm, gymnosperm, etc. Okay, and but in case of this uh, bryophyta and in case of thallophyta, no such well developed vascular tissues are found. But we see there is progressive changes, the gradual change in the evolution of the and development of vascular tissue. Okay, since the body is not differentiated into leaves, stems, and root in case of thallophyta or algae, so there is no question of vascular tissue. Even in the bryophytes, there is no vascular tissue. Okay, like in so here also we write for thallophyta also non-vascular plant, non-vascular plants, thallophyta, that is algae, and same for the bryophytes, non-vascular plant, no vascular tissue means no xylem and phloem, no xylem and phloem are present. Okay, these are the vascular tissues which are responsible for conducting the different materials. Okay, xylem conducts water and minerals, and phloem conducts manufactured food. So no vascular tissue is found because no stem only. So where is the question of having the vascular tissue? Okay, so these are the non-vascular plants. Okay, but first land, the plant which grew on the land for the first time, that was the in the evolution. Okay, in the course of evolution, that are the bryophytes. Okay, they grow in shady, moist and shady place. Grow in moist and shady habitat. Okay, shady places. And they are not seed producing plant, obviously, because there is no questions of flower having there are no questions of having the reproduction that we find in the flowering plants. Okay, so no seed is formed. But as we go to little higher group, pteridophytes, we'll find some vascular tissue has developed. Okay, so thallus, thallophyta, algae, very primitive, aquatic, not lands, not terrestrial, not phonoland. After that evolution took place, the bryophytes were evolved, and bryophytes are little higher, little bigger in size. Some leaf-like structures are there. Okay, some small leaf-like structures are there. Some small leaf-like structures are found. Okay, in case of the bryophytes. So it is evolved, highly evolved than the thallophyte. The next group of the plant, the pteridophyte, we find even more specialization and more differentiation. That is, the roots-like structures are there, and the stems, small stems are there, the leaves are formed. Okay, although of primitive type of the branching and the leaves, but it has some more specialization as compared to the bryophytes and the thallophytes, that means algae. Okay, so now and now we will study about the comparison also, because this is important. One important point I will write. This is also important about the as per the syllabus. Asexual reproduction occurs by, like same as in case of the thallophyta, they also reproduce by asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction occurs by asexual reproduction occurs by fragmentation. And small aggregation of and small aggregation of small aggregations of tissue, so you can write, called gamma or gamma cup. Gamma. This gamma or gamma is a kind of special structure we find in bryophytes. Some tissue are aggregated and they behave or act as a reproductive part of the plant. Okay, so that is called gamma or singular, and in plural it's called gammi. So we find in Markensia. Markensia is an example of the bryophyte, like we have seen Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, Volvox. Okay, so Markensia funaria. Markensia, there is this gamma cup is found. Gamma cup or gamma. Okay, this acts as the reproductive part of the plant. Okay, the funaria is another example. So at least the two examples you should remember. This is also the bryophytes, Markensia and funaria. Okay, in algae we saw Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, then Elothrix also. Okay, Volvox, Oedogonium, and Shara. Okay. Now the next is the comparison. We need to compare. This is important for exam. Okay, a comparison between thallophytes and the bryophytes, algae and bryophytes. How do we compare, and what are the different points, and how do we there are different points, like, okay, how do you differentiate between the algae and the bryophytes, because both are undergoing sexual reproduction. And okay, one more point, asexual reproduction takes place by fragmentation, and sexual reproduction also takes place by the formation of gametes. Okay, sexual reproduction also takes place by formation of gamete and transfer of gametes. Okay, and fertilization of gametes from the gamete. Okay, when the fertilization takes place, now in case of the bryophyte that you study in higher classes in the detail, there is alternation, gametophyte. Okay, when sexual reproduction takes place, they form the gametophyte. Okay, so you remember this point. Sexual reproduction gives rise to gametophyte, means the product of the individual formed by the sexual reproduction, gametophyte. And once when undergo the asexual reproduction, once it goes asexual reproduction, and then next it goes sexual reproduction. Okay, it's called sporophyte. This we'll study in detail in higher class, class 11. Sporophyte. So sporophyte and gametophyte, they are alternate. This is called alternation of generation. Try to understand this. Don't get confused. Means, for example, one generation, okay, this has formed by the sexual reproduction. This is gametophyte. Okay. Now this will then if undergo the asexual reproduction, and then it will form sporophyte. Then that sporophyte will again undergo the sexual reproduction and then form gametophyte. Then gametophyte will form sporophyte. So in this way, alternation of generation. Sporophyte, gametophyte. Sporophyte, gametophyte. Okay. The next generation gametophyte. After that, the next generation will be gametophyte, sporophyte, and after sporophyte will be gametophyte. The next generation will be again gametophyte. Then again after that, the next generation will be the sporophyte, gametophyte, like this. So that is the called alternation of generation that you will study in higher classes in detail. Now the most important as per your syllabus is the comparison or differences between the algae and bryophyte. Okay, the comparison between algae and bryophytes. Okay, what are the points? Okay, first point is the type, basis. I like to make a table. Okay, first is the basis. On what basis we are comparing? Then we'll write the here algae, and then here we'll write the bryophytes. Bryophytes. Okay, so here first we'll write on the basis. Here we'll write the, okay. Okay, now on the basis of types, okay, algae are plant-like organisms which are classified under kingdom Protista. Plant-like, plant-like or plant only, green plants. Okay, belongs to kingdom Protista. Placed under kingdom Protista, like 5 kingdom classification I discussed: kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, etc. And these are also division of non-vascular plant. Non-vascular plant, non-vascular plant. Okay, under kingdom Plantae. Under kingdom Plantae. Try to understand this. There are some unicellular algae that is kingdom Protista only. Okay, but multicellular, those who are having more than one cells are and carrying out the process of photosynthesis with the help of the green pigment, that will be kingdom Plantae. So unicellular are the kingdom Protista, not all the members. Okay, growth habitat. Growth habitat that will be grow in aquatic habitat. Aquatic habitat. Moist shady place. Moist shady place. I told you, I've already told you this. Okay, role in food chain. When you study about the ecosystem, you will understand about the food chain. The food chain means there is a producer, the green plants that are producing or manufacturing the glucose molecule, synthesizing the food, and this is eaten by the other organisms. They are the consumer. So these are the producer. Producer in aquatic food chain. Producer in aquatic food chain. Bryophytes, these produce important buffers. Produce important buffer system for other plants. Buffer system for other plants. Okay. They also carry out photosynthesis like higher plants and like in algae also. But these are, since are land plants, first terrestrial plant, and since these are the algae is the only found in water bodies, okay, or where the water is contained in the aquatic system. So they form food chain, producer for food chain in case of the aquatic food chain only. Okay, but in the bryophytes are somehow acting as the buffer system for other plants. Okay, like higher plants. Now cell composition. Cell composition. Maybe unicellular or multicellular, unicellular or multicellular. Okay, uh, filamentous, filamentous. Okay, uh, colonial, like I have told you, volvox is example of one colonial algae. Okay, then thelloid, etc. Okay, thelloid, colonial, thelloid, etc. Thelloid means small size, uh, always multicellular. No bryophytes are found in unicellular condition. Always multicellular. Always multicellular. Thelloid or leafy. Only leaf-like structure are found, but the stems and roots are absent. Okay. So that means there is no unicellular form in case of the bryophytes. Okay. And now the division of labor means how the cells are divided for the different functions. Division of labor. Okay. Plant body exhibits no division of labor. Plant body exhibits no division of labor. Okay. Body is internally divided. In case of bryophyte, body is internally divided into photosynthetic and storage zone. Body is internally divided into photosynthetic, photosynthetic and storage zones. That means some part of the plant body is responsible for photosynthesizing and other parts are responsible for storage of the manufactured food. Okay, like this. But in case of algae, it is not like this. Okay, there is no division of labor. Only one region is there that is involved in the photosynthesizing or manufacturing food, and that food is utilized for the growth and development or for the survival of that individual plant body. Okay, so now no there is division of labor. Stomata are absent in living in these organisms. Stomata is not present. When we talk about the stomata, absent in case of the algae, and stomata, there is gaseous exchange that occurs through stomata, so stomata present here. Stomata is present. Okay. Now pollen grain production. Pretty small number of pollen grains are formed. Okay, pollen grain. Small number, very small number. Okay, large number of pollen grains are formed in case of bryophytes. Large number, in large numbers. Okay, so these are the points of differences or comparison between the algae and the bryophytes. Algae are smaller than bryophyte because it may be unicellular also. Okay, but in case of bryophytes, there is no unicellular form. All are multicellular. Okay, these are the unicellular form of the algae are placed under kingdom Protista, but not all, and some are placed under kingdom Plantae because they are multicellular. Okay. Bryophytes all are kingdom Plantae. They are non-vascular like algae. Okay, but in case of growth habitat, algae grow in aquatic habitat, completely aquatic habitat. But in case of the bryophytes, they grow in moist, shady place. Okay, not completely aquatic. Not always they require water. There may be, they require moisture, but not at the same extent as the algae require. Okay, producer in aquatic food chain, because since they are growing in aquatic ecosystem, so they act as producer in aquatic food chain. In case of bryophyte, they are important buffer system for other plants. Cell composition is unicellular or multicellular, filamentous, colonial, or very small leafy-like in case of algae. But in case of bryophytes, it's multicellular thalloid leafy-like. Okay, no colony or filament-like. Okay, only one type. Division of liver is not found in case of the algae, but in case of the bryophyte, we find some part of the plant body is involved only in synthesizing food, and another part is involved in the storage of food. The stomata is completely absent in algae and present. The gaseous exchange takes place through the stomata in case of the bryophytes. So stomata are present, okay, and pollen grains are very little quantity. It produces in very small quantity, small number in case of algae, and it produces large number in case of the bryophytes. So these are the points of differences between the algae and the bryophytes, from where the questions are asked and maybe asked in your examination. Okay, so I hope you have understood. Now I will talk about your academic booster. Okay, so in case of academic booster, you after the class as we are sending every day a daily practice paper. Again today we will be sending, and you go through the daily practice problem, download and solve the answer and send back to us. Okay, so then we will have the go through your answer, and then we will check the answer and send you the remarks. Okay, so thank you for joining. Okay, and now you may leave the meet the class now. Okay, thank you.